Do you feel unfulfilled? Do you wake up every day feeling a sense of emptiness? This may present itself in the form of boredom, frustration, unsatisfaction. Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do about it. I'm going to tell you what has worked for me, and I'm going to give you practical tips that you can apply so you can move from a life of unsatisfaction to a life of clarity and fulfillment. On the screen, you're going to see the video chapters, and on my channel, you're going to find healthy plant-based recipes, self-help content, guided meditation recordings and affirmations, and so many other more videos like vlogs and so on. Okay, so let's get straight into the video. And here's a disclaimer, this is not medical advice. This is my personal experience, and this is what has worked for me. If you feel like you need to seek professional help, then please do. So let's start by understanding the problem. It's feeling unfulfilled and frustrated, even when things are going good in our life. You're not necessarily things to complain about. Sure, there might be some challenges in our life, but there's a nagging feeling of not feeling satisfied. It's something that you're experiencing and that you can't really understand why you're feeling that way. It's a nagging feeling of emptiness. Trust me, you're not alone. Many people have experienced this, and I have personally experienced this myself in different phases of my life. I want to reassure you that there is a way forward. I've experienced feeling lost even when things were good. I've experienced boredom even when I've had a busy social and work schedule and life. And it's really important to not fear this feeling, but start digging deeper and trying to understand and unpack where this is coming from. It's so important to suppress certain things and emotions because you feel like you don't understand it or you don't see why you would be feeling this way. And really, it's an opportunity to understand what it is and grow from there, okay? Experiencing this, it's important to understand that the feeling of unfulfillment is not a short-lived emotion. It can actually have an impact on your mental and emotional well-being. And it can have certain consequences. It can leave you feeling lost, frustrated, alone, stuck, and disconnected from the world around us. And leaving you wandering around like without a compass, not really knowing where you're going with things. So what's the solution to feeling unfulfilled? Well, it's actually living a life of purpose. I found fulfillment when I started to live a life of purpose, waking up every day with the intention to work on my personal growth and also help others live a healthier and happier life so they can live out the best versions of themselves, so they can also live out their purpose, so they can contribute in the best and most meaningful way to the world. We wake up each day with a clear sense of intention and clarity. If you don't think you have purpose per se and you're feeling fulfilled, well, good for you. There's nothing wrong with that. That's great. But if you are feeling frustrated, then this video is for you. Tips to finding your purpose. So if you want to find your purpose, but you don't know where to start and how to look for it and how to discover what your purpose is, well, first of all, I want to say that our purpose can change with time. It's not one thing or one fixed thing. It can be the same thing over a period of time, or it can evolve or change with time. So I'm going to first start by telling you what has worked for me. Well, honestly, one of the biggest things was I kept digging. I felt unfulfilled, so I wanted to understand why. I think one of the things that's important to keep in mind that it's not the solution or the way forward with this and with many things is not expecting to figure it out straight away. There's no rush. It's about taking your time and learning more about yourself, really working on your personal growth. If you're putting in the time and you're doing the work, then the answers will start to show up with time. That's when you're really getting that clarity. It will unfold with time. I started to do things like, really put in an effort with eating better, sleeping better, working out more consistently. I also started to spend more time with myself, ask myself questions like, what makes me happy? What really brings me joy? What do I enjoy? What would I like to start doing more of? What do I want from my future? I'm not necessarily talking about the big things of achieving big things or owning certain things or achieving certain milestones. Those are of course important things, but I mean, it's more about when I look back, I want to make sure, for example, that I've really enjoyed myself and my time with my kids, to have really lived mindfully and in the moment. What can I be doing more of every day that really made me happy on a daily basis? And it doesn't need to be extravagant things, but it could be really doing the hobbies that I enjoy, working towards the business that I aspire for, whatever it may be. So really asking those questions and trying to figure it out. Another thing I started to do is I started to read more. I started to meditate more consistently. I started to sign up for courses that piqued my interest. When you start to do these different things and experiencing new things, whether it's sport or an activity or an adventure or it's an experience, when you start to do more of these things, you start to understand yourself more. And when you understand yourself more, it's gonna lead you unconsciously to the path that brings you more purpose and more joy. How will you know if you don't try? I promise you, the more time that you spend doing these things, the more that you will unravel what it is that brings you happiness and joy and finally, I wanted to expand my understanding and my knowledge of the world around me and life, and just like really being super curious. Those are the things that really helped me in trying to figure out what my purpose is. Living a life of purpose can vary greatly from person to person. It really is so personal, but generally speaking, it needs to align with your actions, your goals, and your values with a sense of meaning or fulfillment. For some, purpose can look like personal achievement, and for others, it could be being of service or contributing to the world in a meaningful way or pursuing your passions or spiritual fulfillment. If you want to figure out what your purpose is, but you have no idea where to get started and how to go about it, here are some suggestions. First, I would suggest to spend some time with yourself. Really think about what your values are, what your goals are, what your strengths are, your passions. That will be helpful in trying to just kind of get that thinking process going. You can expand your social circles and just meet new people, connect with new people, engage in different conversations. You'll be surprised what you might learn from others that you might find interesting. Also expand your learning. So read new books, sign up for new courses, sign up for new activities, whether it's sports or pottery or different things, and just see how you enjoy them. And it doesn't mean that you're gonna like everything that you try, but it's really quite interesting and fun to see what might interest you. And of course, really work on your personal growth. You will be surprised when you start to dig, when you start to heal, when you start to really work on yourself, how much more clarity you will start to subconsciously and indirectly come across and learn about yourself, and that just gives you more to work with. And most importantly, be patient and persistent. This is, at the end of the day, a journey. This is not something to fear or feel frustrated about. Really give yourself the time to just really enjoy it and figure it out. So this is the bonus chapter. This is actually something that I really feel super passionate about. It's being of service. One powerful way to really fill your life with purpose is being of service to others. When we are serving others, we're not only making positive impact on other people's life, but it really gives us a deeper sense of fulfillment. Whether it's volunteering or mentoring or lending a helping hand, you can really be of service in so many different ways. And it really helps remind us that we're all in this together. Being of service is actually using your talent, your resources, your time to contribute positively towards others and also the world. And what's nice is that generally, when you're living a life of purpose, you're gravitating to being of service. And that's because usually our passions and our purpose are aligned with making a positive impact in the world. If you have something of value to offer, and trust me, we all have something valuable to add, then I encourage you to contribute. Trust me, it's so rewarding. If you're elderly, you can contribute with your wisdom. If you are a mother, you can contribute with your experiences and your mom tips. If you're strong with a language, then simply volunteering with teaching children the language, whether it's your grandkids or your neighbor's son, or it can even be children that are in need that don't have access to education. If you're someone who experienced a great loss, then maybe joining a support group, a grieving support group, and helping others experiencing grief and supporting them, of course, if that's something that you're comfortable doing. My point is, everyone has something valuable to add. You just have to know it, and you have to believe in yourself and trust that it's there. Please don't underestimate yourself. Really, really, we need you. The world needs you. Somebody out there really needs your help with your time, with your knowledge, with your experience in so many different ways. The way I try to be of service is by trying to uplift my community. I really want to contribute positively to the people around me and people around the world. I really do believe that when you live a healthier and a happier life, you're able to give more, you're able to lift the best version of yourself, and that will mean that you're able to also extend and live your purpose and give more to the world around us and make the world a better place. I really do believe that we are all in this together, and we really have to support each other and help each other rise. There is really no time for like jealousy and competition. I believe we are at a time where we really need to be proactive and spreading positivity, breaking through the insecurities and the lack of confidence to be able to live out our passions, being an artist, being a creative, sharing wisdom, like in every single field, in every single avenue. It's so important. When you're able to own your passion or your talent, then you're really also setting a good example of, for example, if you're an artist, you know, by being able to live out your potential, you're setting such a great example for all these other people and youth and other individuals that maybe have the same desire but are also held back by insecurity or lack of confidence. When you are promoting a healthier lifestyle, you're really helping others feel better about themselves and therefore be in a better mental and physical state. I really believe that everything comes full circle, and now more than ever, we really need to get on it and do the best we can. And now I'm gonna debunk some of the myths about living a life of purpose. First is that achievements come only in some like grand and extravagant achievements. That's not true. Being of purpose can be in small daily actions that you find meaning in. Another one is purpose is static. That's not true. Purpose can change with time. Another one is that purpose is career related. That's not true. Purpose can be come in so many different ways. It can be in career, it can be a personal achievement, it can be in a passion. It can look different for everybody. Another one is that for you to live a life of purpose, you have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have it all figured out. You can just start one day at a time. If you start to do a more meaningful thing every single day, that will only bring you more meaning and fulfillment and purpose with time. Purpose is a destination. No, it's a journey and it's a way of living. Another one is maybe you fear that you don't have a purpose, like you don't know what your purpose is. You think all these negative things about yourself, that you just don't have anything that excites you or that can add a value, all these like negative thoughts. That's not true. If you care to discover what your purpose is, then you will figure it out by giving yourself time, working on your personal growth and experiencing new things, and that will only help you unravel what your purpose is. Another myth is about to be of service is you have to volunteer. It doesn't need to be about volunteering. You can be of service by mentoring. You can be of service by sharing free content that others can benefit from. It's about using your talent, your time, your resources in a meaningful way. And also maybe a myth is like for you to be fulfilled, you need to depend on external experiences or achievements. That's not true. While those might contribute to you feeling a purpose, it can also just be aligning your actions with your values. If you're feeling unfulfilled, remember that you have the power to change your story. Embrace the journey of self-discovery. Keep an open heart, keep a positive mindset, And just don't fear this process. It's really such a beautiful journey that you're gonna be going on, because what better way to become more familiar with who you are, really know yourself on a deeper level, and just be able to live a more meaningful life. And when you're living also a more meaningful life, naturally and organically, you're also going to have a more positive impact on your community and also the world. One of life's greatest gifts is to be able to know yourself better, to believe in yourself, to love yourself more. I really wish you the best of luck on your journey. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please remember to subscribe. On my channel, you're going to find healthy plant-based recipes, self-help and self-development content, guided meditation recordings and affirmation recordings, and a lot of other random stuff like vlogs and whatnot. So thank you again, and see you in the next video.